My name is Cody, and today I will be demonstrating how to make a Sundrop pound cake. The equipment and ingredients needed for this pound cake is a preheated oven to 325 degrees, a mixer with the beaters and the whisk attachments, a Bunt pan, either silicone or metal, whichever you prefer. It needs to be greased with either shortening or cooking spray. You're going to need 2 bowls, a sifter, a rubber spatula, and then for the ingredients you're going to need 5 eggs, 2 sticks of butter, 3 cups of flour, 3 cups of sugar, 6 ounces or 3/4 a cup of Sundrop, a half a cup of shortening, a teaspoon of clear vanilla or regular vanilla, whichever you prefer, and then a teaspoon of blend. Okay. With one of the bowls that you have chosen for the procedure, you will need to sift your 3 cups of flour. Now, to sift it, it's just a container with a mesh bottom with a little twist handle here to make the flour finer and easier to cook with. Your sifter down in the bowl. Then you're going to take your 3 cups of flour and you're going to pour it into the sifter, like so. Maybe a little more gentler than what I am. Or you just might want to do 2 cups at a time because small sifter can't really get much flour in it, and then you're just going to sift it by turning the little crank and send it through the sifter and to where it'll be a finer consistency. You might want to beat it down so you can get the flour that could stick to the sides, and so you're not really running out of flour later on when you go to make it and set it to the side. Now with your other bowl, you're going to take your 2 sticks of butter or margarine, whichever one that you prefer, and put it in the bowl. And with your rubber spatula, you're going to take your half a cup of Crisco, and it's easier if you just sort of go down at the angle and sort of just scoop around so it comes out all nice and clean. And then you're going to take your 2 sticks of butter and your shortening, and you're going to cream them together. should end up with something that looks like that. Now we're going to gradually add our sugar, probably about a cup at a time. And then we're going to mix the sugar with the butter and shortening mixture. Then you're going to add your remaining sugar, and then you're going to mix well. Your sugar with your butter and your shortening, you should end up with something like this. Now, you're going to take your 5 eggs and you're going to add one at a time and blend that one egg well. You're going to blend it well before adding the next egg. maximum strength, apparently. And again, eggs are just a fragile thing. My hand towel decided it wanted to help a little bit. Do some mixing. Well, after you add your eggs, you should have something that looks like this. Next, we will add the teaspoon of vanilla and the teaspoon of lemon. And then you're going to, hang on, I sort of got to look at the recipe. My mind ain't as good as it once was. And then you're going to add 1 cup of flour at a time, and then you're just going to blend them until they are well combined. I think I need to learn how to become ambidextrous. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I hope so. Oh, look, a little heart. After adding your flour, you're then going to add your 6 ounces or 3/4 a cup of Sundrop. And then you're going to mix until well combined. your Sundrop, you should have something that looks like a cake batter consistency. Clean up a little over here. And then with another rubber spatula, you're going to pour it into your Bunt pan and evenly distribute it, well, just try and evenly distribute it throughout the whole pan. Try to avoid getting it on the cone, because I'm not sure exactly what it does, but I'm pretty sure it might burn and smoke up the house. That's never fun to do that now. I'm debating about getting a spoon because my pouring skills are not fun. I'm just going to dial a bit. So just try and evenly distribute it. Okay, so you might want to take your rubber spatula and just sort of lay down the top layer just so it'll bake evenly. And so when you turn it out, it'll also be semi-flat. Now that we have it in the cake pan, we're going to put it in the oven for an hour and 15 minutes, or until you test it with either a toothpick or a skewer, and if it comes out clean, which I will show you how to do here shortly. Ooh, nice warm and toasty in there. See you in an hour and 15 minutes. So I put the cake in, and I'm going to show y'all how to check and see if it's done or if it needs to bake a little more. Now with your toothpick or your skewer, you're going to lightly insert it in the cake, and if it comes out with cake batter on it still, it means it still needs to bake. Which, by the looks of this one, it probably does need to bake a little longer, unless you like gooey cake and it's just not good for you. So we're going to let that bake a little more, and then I'll check it again in about 15-20 minutes. It's been 15 minutes, and I'm going to see if the cake has finished baking, which I'm really hoping it does, because it is starting to start, because it smells so good. Probably give it another 5-10 minutes. I'll come back in about 10 minutes and check it again. In 10 minutes, so I'm going to check the cake again to see if it comes out clean. Go from there. Fingers crossed. It's best to check it in 2 places to make sure it's completely cooked all the way through. And the cake would be cooked all the way through. So I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to sit it on this cooling rack. And if you don't have a cooling rack, you can always use a rack out of your oven. Just make sure you take it out before your oven's preheated. So I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to let it start cooling for about 10 minutes, and then take it out of the cake pan, and then we'll make the glaze to go on top of it. So you can turn it off. And for the glaze, we will need 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 cups of sugar, or if you buy the box with 16 ounces, and that's 2 cups already measured out for you. And we're going to need 2 ounces, or 1/4 a cup of Sundrop. I forgot we're going to need a 3rd bowl. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our butter, put it in the bowl, make sure it's a microwave safe bowl. Then we're going to put it in the microwave and melt it. You've melted the butter, you're going to put it in a good size mixing, well, it doesn't have to be a good size mixing bowl, but a mixing bowl. You're going to use your mixer with the wire whisk attachment. So you're going to pour in your butter. Then you're going to take your 2 cups of powdered sugar, and you're going to pour it in with the butter. And then you're going to take your 2 ounces, or your 1/4 a cup of Sundrop and you're going to pour it on top. Then you will take your mixer with your whisk attachment and you will whisk it together. If your icing or glaze, whichever you prefer, is a little too thick, you can add some more Sundrop. And if it ends up too thin, you can add some more powdered sugar. So I'm going to add a little more Sundrop to mine to sort of thin it down. So I just poured a little amount into the measuring cup, and I'm probably not going to use all of it, but whatever Sundrop you don't use, you could have a drink later on. Because you know you're going to get thirsty working in the kitchen. Pour it a little bit, and then I'm going to try mixing some more to see if we get the consistency needed. My kind of glaze I like for a cake, I like it this consistency because it's still glazable, but it's still a type of frosting that you can actually see and admire. So we're going to set this to the side, and we're going to let the cake finish cooling until it is warm to the touch on the outside of the cake pan, and see y'all in about 10 minutes. It's still slightly warm, and that's when you want to pour the glaze / icing, whichever one you want to call it, on the cake. Well, actually, let's spoon it on there so you can get it to look very presentable. So you're just going to take a scoop, and then you're just going to take it and just run it over it and down like this, all the way around. And the warmness of the cake will get the icing to spread a little, to melt down the sides and give it where almost a complete coatage of it. nicely pulled. I need to work on my icing skills still. And even if it's not perfect looking, what really matters is the fact that it might taste good. Or if it's going to taste good. Depends on if you like Sundrop. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And after you get your icing or glaze, whichever one you want to call it, to where you decorate it to where you feel comfortable with it, and you're just free to cut it and serve it. And I want to thank y'all for letting me teach y'all and leave y'all instructions on how to make a Sundrop pound cake.